Shalom, shalom, friends, and I'm glad you are with me again this afternoon, which happens to be, as I'm recording this, the last day of December in the year 2024. Well, it's not our new year exactly, but it is the end of a year, and coincidentally, it is also the seventh night of Hanukkah, and it is also the beginning of a new Jewish month. It's the month of Tevet. Now, what is the month of Tevet known for? Well, the truth is, friends, it doesn't have a lot to be known for, but it has within it the 10th day of Tevet, which is a commemoration of the beginning of the destruction of the temple. So that's a sad day, actually. And it's a day of some special prayers and special liturgy. But this is a Jewish month that is not as auspicious as January might be an auspicious month. It's Rosh Chodesh. It's the beginning of the 10th Hebrew month, and doesn't have a lot of significance on the Jewish calendar. But nevertheless, we are still celebrating the seventh night of Hanukkah, 7 being a whole number in our Jewish tradition, 7 being the number of the days of the week, and 7 being the number of the days that we celebrate birth and death and lots of reasons we have 7 in our tradition. But let me focus in for a minute about the tradition of resolutions on New Year's, because after all, we have the secular New Year tonight. And someone pointed out to me recently that this idea of resolutions is very interesting. And they suggested we look up the definition for what is the definition of resolution. And I found a definition that I thought was interesting. There's first it says the act of process of changing to a simpler form. And that is, we could to resolve something to in a sort of chemistry or physical forms is to change something into a simpler form. And I like that definition, and I like the idea that perhaps using this idea of making resolutions on New Year's Eve, that we also think about how we simplify our lives. How do we make life simple? It seems to me that we live in a time that life can be awfully complicated. We live in a time where everything can be so abstract. Trying to make our lives simple and living simple lives is actually a great goal. Today we've been hearing, yesterday and today, so many obituaries for Jimmy Carter, our former president. And one of the things he talked about was living a simpler life. That was one of his themes throughout his life. There is also a definition of resolution, which means wishing for something, and certainly we use that. I'm going to make resolutions to wish for something for the year to come. But resolution can also mean answering a problem, as in the phrase, the resolution of a problem. Perhaps as we think about this evening, perhaps as we think about the year ahead, we need to think about how to resolve problems. What problems are we capable of solving? Perhaps we can't bring world peace. Perhaps we cannot solve hunger in the world. But perhaps there is something that we can solve, answer, respond to that will make a difference. Perhaps there is something that we can do as a volunteer, as a caring individual, as a contributor, something that we can do to help solve a problem in the world. Maybe resolution to say, I'm going to make resolutions for the new year. Maybe what we should be thinking of is what it is we can solve for the new year. There is another definition of resolution, and it goes like this: the process or capability of distinguishing, as in objects of or sources of light. For example, we say a printer has a resolution of 1200 dots per inch. Distinguishing. Maybe that's the last thing we should, or the next thing we should do on this New Year's Eve. Have the ability to distinguish what is worthwhile and what is worthless. Let us have the ability to know what we want to include in our life, to somehow make what needs to be important, important. Well, however you want to define resolution, I hope that your resolutions for the new year will be answered and will make you feel good and bring you into 2025 with a sense of purpose, a sense that much is to be accomplished and much can be done, and a sense that there's a great adventure ahead for all of us. We'll conclude as we always do with the Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemerabam B'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala v'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabam v'varach li'olam li'amei amaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitramam v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha barechu v'yela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran b'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlomo rabba min shemayim v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Thank you so much, friends. We'll see you again next week.